Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Porte ISD, and thank you for being here. Hello, hello. No? Still not? Do I need to project? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Porte ISD, and thank you for being here. It is now 7:07 p.m., Tuesday, February 13th, 2024, and I hereby call this meeting to order. Notice that this meeting has been posted in a manner required by law. The Board of Trustees of LaPorte Independent School District is now convened. Tonight, trustees Ms. Deanne Thompson and Mr. Mason Paris are currently representing LaPorte ISD in Washington, D.C. at the Texas Federal Education Advocacy Conference. However, let the record show that the remaining 5 trustees are in attendance and a quorum is present. As the LaPorte ISD Board of Trustees, every student is our success is our #1 priority. I'll get it together. Hold on. We are here to set goals, adopt policy, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and communicate the district's vision and success to the community. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. School board meetings are open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. However, audience participation is limited to the patron presentation portion of the meeting, and board members may not respond to those comments made in the public comment section. These proceedings may be recorded, and I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking. Before we begin, I wish to sincerely thank you again for taking the time to join us and for your interest in LaPorte Independent School District. At this time, will you please stand for the presentation of colors led by the LaPorte High School ROTC. Forward march. The LaPorte High School JROTC is commanded by Second Lieutenant Taylor Pugh, Texas Flag Second Lieutenant Aiden Trant, Private Cole Hart, and Private Shelby Martinez. Colors. If you'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Color guard, carry. Colors. Colors. Post. Ready. Seat. Center. Face. Present. Arms. Color guard. Order. Arms. Color guard. Mark time. March. Forward. March. Thank you, LaPorte High School JRTC. Now, if you'll bow your head for the invocation presented by Trustee Melissa Crutcher.
Lord, thank you for all of the blessings that you've given to this district. Thank you for this opportunity for us to come together and to make decisions that are in your will, but for the good of the district, for the students, for the teachers, and the community. We ask that you keep a hedge of protection over everyone in this room and beyond its walls, including all of our schools and the community. As we make our decisions throughout the evening and go forward, we ask that you give us discernment and help us to clearly make and help us to make decisions that will benefit all in our community and with the students that we serve. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Be seated. Okay, we'll move into item 5, board recognitions. Tonight's board recognitions will be presented by Director of Communications, Mr. Adam Hollins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Adam Holland. I'm the Director of Communications for Porte ISD, and this is always everyone's favorite part of our board meetings, and that's the entertainment by our students. This month, Jenny Reed Elementary's Tiki Club. It's called the Tiki Club. Who knew we had one? Under the direction of Jennifer Arisco, they're going to perform for us. I want to just a quick note. The students, after the performance, they're going to go out this door on this side, along with their teacher. Parents, we ask, and family members, we ask that you go this way. Your students will meet you out in the foyer, and hopefully we prevent a traffic jam. Thank you so much. The Tiki Club.
This is Jenny Reed Elementary Tiki Club. I'm Jennifer Arisco, the music teacher here. And these are my Tuesday morning kids. We meet at 7:15 in the morning and we make some wonderful sounds. You have a role in this, so you have a part to play in this. So I'm going to teach it to you really quickly. It'll take about 10 seconds. Repeat after me. 4 times. One more time. Okay, I bet you'll know when to do that, and we're just going to start right here. All right, ready? Okay, F, or in other words, the yellow and purple sticker. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. We were ready to get out of here. Oh, all right. Jackson squeezing. Remember what we put on there?
Find your windows. With you.
Let's give it up one more time for the Tiki Club. Way to go. And once again, parents, you're more than welcome to stick around, but if you'll exit this way, your kiddos will meet you out in the hallway.
You should get ice cream.
What is respect? LaPorte ISD students, they wrote the story on respect. In fact, the interpretations of 3 LaPorte ISD elementary students garnered honors in the annual respect contest. This is a project of the Arnold and Itkin Foundation. It's a Houston law firm. Layla Carbajal of College Park Elementary won top honors in the contest. Is Layla here? Come on up. And you can just go stand over there. They all want to shake your hand. Matthew M.J. Adams of LaPorte Elementary placed second. And Ava Kelly of Bayshore Elementary was third. Tell you a little bit more about this contest. Contestants are required to define the word respect in 2 or fewer sentences and draw a picture to complement their explanation. The foundation, which is an outreach of the Houston-based law firm Arnold and Itkin, reviews every entry. The winners receive a donation to their school, a contribution to the charity of their choice, and a little cash prize for themselves. Congratulations, y'all.
Come on over here.
National School Counseling Week 2024 was this past week, February the 5th through the 9th, to focus public attention on the unique contribution of school counselors within U.S. school systems. Tonight, we recognize LaPorte ISD's wonderful counselors and highlights the tremendous impact that they have in helping students to achieve school success, plan for a career. We will begin with the elementary counselors. Cindy Martin, Bayshore Elementary. Audra Mazariegos, College Park Elementary. Hillary McClellan, Heritage Elementary. Diana Horelka, LaPorte Elementary. Tina Holloway, Lomax Elementary. Danielle Knight, Jenny Reed Elementary. And Melissa Mansfield, Rizzuto Elementary. Thank you, counselors, for all that you do. Thank you. Moving on to our secondary counselors. First, Lacey Rodriguez, James H. Baker 6th grade campus. Danielle Antley, LaPorte Junior High. Howells, Lomax Junior High. April Hawthorne, the Academy of Viola DeWalt High School. Brenda Nuke, secondary DAEP. And from LaPorte High School, Robin Galvan. Carla Vaughn. Esther Norton. LaGreta Arrington. Brenda Sadler. Jennifer Cummings. Also, district level counselors Erin Cameron Webb. And we have quite a few cakes left over here, but Terry, would you mind picking out a cake for Jancy? Jancy Alfaro, our counselor coordinator. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Ms. Terry Cook. She is the coordinator of our Partners in Education program, and she has a couple of honors.
Thank you, Adam. Tonight, it's my pleasure to introduce two of our community partners that we want to recognize, and we're going to start with Altivia. Altivia supports LaPorte ISD by serving as a partner in education with Leo A. Rizzuto Elementary School and a member of the LaPorte Education Foundation's 500 Club. This fall, Altivia has responded to the needs of Rizzuto students by donating a large supply of items such as toiletries, backpacks, socks, and undergarments for the school's care closet. In addition, Altivia reached out to help a Rizzuto family in need by providing a new mattress and pillows and bedding. Representatives from Altivia will also be on hand to demonstrate science experiments for the students and their families at the annual STEM night at Rizzuto. We are very grateful for Altivia and the company's continued support of LaPorte ISD. Tonight we have Derek Meadows, who's a plant manager, to accept this recognition.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Derek. Tonight, we'd also like to recognize Glenda Oliver, who is a longtime LaPorte resident who turned her skill for making walking sticks into a way to fund scholarships for LaPorte ISD students. As she first began making the walking sticks from crepe myrtle branches, she gave them away to people who might need them, and then approached the LaPorte Bayshore Chamber of Commerce to see if the walking stick project might become part of the Chamber's scholarship program. The walking sticks are now on display at several area businesses, including the Chamber, and we're going to have a box here, and can be obtained for a suggested donation of $30. Mrs. Oliver recently presented a check for $1,000 to the Chamber Scholarship Program and is making her second $1,000 check presentation tonight. Thank you, Miss Oliver, and if you'd come up, thank you for the picture.
Very welcome.
We're gonna expect this every month now, but thank you so much. All right. Do it. You probably be happy. You gotta get the nursery for a couple of churches this weekend.
It's in Houston.
All right, we will now move on to item 6, public comment. The board will now hear those who wish to make comment and who have completed and returned the public comment participation request. This section will be conducted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and board policy. Complaints and concerns for which other resolution channels are provided shall be directed through those channels. Mr. Shoppy, do we have any registered speakers?
Yes, sir. We have two. Mr. Corby Alexander from Mesquite and Mr. Lewis Rigby from Woodland?
Woodland Court.
Woodland Court.
Come on up.
Come on up.
Never done this before on this side. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the board tonight and give heartfelt thanks for what you did when we lost our chief of police. It was the day after I received a text from the superintendent, Dr. Jackson, offering condolences and a place to have his memorial service, and without that there wouldn't have been another place in the city that would have held that many people. So thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you to the school district for the collaborative relationship that you have for the city, and anything you guys ever need, please let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well, I just want to say hello. I'm Corby Alexander. I think I know most of y'all. I am the city manager for the city of LaPorte, and really just want to echo the mayor's sentiments. We are incredibly grateful to have friends that we can rely on in a time of need, and you guys have proven that to us, that we can always rely on you, and we are incredibly grateful. The Dietrich family is incredibly grateful, and we just wanted to stop by and say thank you. The words don't seem to be enough, but we really, really appreciate your openness, and it wasn't just a facility. You had people there, the AV people running things and making sure things went off flawlessly, and it was noticed and greatly appreciated. So thank you so much, and then if there's ever anything Iowa City can do, please don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move on to item 7, administrative reports. Dr. Jackson, would you like to start?
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, board members. We are now more than a month into spring's 2024 semester, and students and staff are diligently working towards success on the upcoming STAR and then, of course, exams. It has been a remarkably busy month and school year, for that matter, in our school district. And in addition to everything happening during school hours, our students are spending their extra time successfully competing in academic, athletic, and fine arts events. And I want to begin by thanking you for paving the way for our accomplishments board. As our state-renowned high school musical wrapped up its 2024 schedule of performances earlier this month, and 8 of our award-winning fine arts program students have works on display at NRG for the duration of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. These young artists are vying for big scholarship money in addition to the acclaim that they have earned. This past week, 6 LaPorte High School student athletes signed national letters of intent to continue playing and studying at the collegiate level. That brings the total number of college commitments this school year to 9. This past weekend, one of our swimmers qualified for the UIL State Swim and Dive Championships. And yesterday evening, our Lady Dogs basketball team earned a decisive victory over Port Arthur Memorial to become UIL by-district champions. Their area-round opponent will be determined this evening. It also deserves mentioning that we had a junior high basketball team win the district championship and another junior high team that took a district runner-up position last weekend. Let's give it up for those junior high kids and high school kids. We are not only proud of these stellar student athletes, but we are grateful that they choose to earn a quality education and outstanding athletics experience in LaPorte schools. Our athletic programs not only win on the fields, courts, and pools, but they're also honored for their character. Our Bulldogs football team was recognized by the Touchdown Club of Houston as a 2024 Sportsmanship Award finalist. This is the second consecutive year for them to be honored and is a testimony that our student athletes maintain a high character on and off the athletic field or court. In academics, more than 120 elementary and junior high students participated in the LaPorte ISD intra-district robotics competition on January 27th at Lomax Junior High. This was made possible with the help of more than 40 volunteers. Our academic decathlon team scored more total points than many of our neighboring teams at the regional academic meet in late January. In total, our scholarships brought home 12 medals in events such as economics, literature, art, social studies, essay, speech, and interview. And our project launch students continue to achieve great things beyond their regular classroom work. As you know, this group is comprised of 5th and 6th grade GT students who take courses of their choosing at the University of Houston Clear Lake, which are taught by university professors and graduate students. We're extremely proud of our students who show excellence beyond the classroom, and we're excited that there are more great things to come. Effective professional development is one of the core priorities in our strategic plan. Since the beginning of the school year, we have offered over 200 professional learning opportunities for our teachers from early childhood to high school. There have been more than 2,800 participants thus far, and the number of professional development hours and opportunities will continue to increase. This coming Friday, for example, our instructional staff will have another professional learning opportunity as the students have a holiday. Everything we do at LaPorte ISD is under the watchful and protective eyes of our school resource officers. SROs are carefully selected, specifically trained, sworn law enforcement officers assigned by an employing law enforcement agency to work with schools using community-oriented policing concepts. National School Resource Officer Appreciation Day is February 15th. And I hope that everyone joins me in thanking the law enforcement officers who keep the staff and students safe every day. Let's give them a hand at this time. And thank you, Sergeant Lockie, for your support and your leadership. Finally, great leadership at the campus and district level, coupled with excellent governance by our Board of Trustees, enables us all to have a laser focus on our number one priority, which is student success. Be it leadership at the campus and district level, board governance, or the many classroom teachers who work hard every day for their students. I'm grateful to everyone who helps to ensure that we continue LaPorte's legacy of excellence. This concludes my thoughts for tonight. Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. We'll now move to item 7B, Bond and Safety Update. Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Bromley.
Good evening, guys. All right. Yes, good evening, President Hanks, Board of Trustees, Dr. Jackson, here tonight to provide you the February update of the Bond 2023. We've made some headway. There's a lot going on. I want to spend a little time tonight talking a little bit, or kind of providing an update. I've hinted at this for the last couple updates pertaining to our wearable panic badges. So those are on the streets as we speak. Our campuses have rolled those out. We should be wrapped up with training and distributing those to our staff members at the end of this week. And then moving into next week, we'll be looking at our custodial and nutrition staff. So just a reminder on what those are essentially, we'll be carrying those just like we do our typical badges. If you hit those buttons 3 times, they initiate a silent panic system where that notifies a set group of administrators. It also picks up a map and shows exactly wherever that individual is located on the campus. We've already had some of those things happen, and I've got some good feedback thus far. If you continue to tap the button on the badge, it actually locks down the facility and sounds all the bells and whistles, and that initiates a group extended pass into our SROs, LPPD, and so forth. So we're really excited about it. There's a lot to it that we're still learning. The idea to get it out this spring was to learn about it, obviously be able to drill with it with our staff and our students, and also be able to communicate with our parents on what that looks like. So that's still a process, but nonetheless, this was something you guys blessed us early on in the fall, and it's here and it's on our campus, and I think it's going to pay huge dividends in our safety measures as we promote that throughout this remaining semester and into the school remaining school years. Update quickly on the stadium and also Lomax Junior High School track. There's a lot going on. If we can just get past the rain component, you can see that things move very quickly out there. And literally each day at this point, when it's dry outside, I feel like something changes out there. So it's kind of fun to watch. I'm sure you've been by and you've seen it, but we went vertical. The press box is really kind of making its shape. And then now you're starting to see the concourse and even the stands being developed on the home side. And this is a picture that's even outdated because they've already started to put some on the other side of the press box. But currently, steel's going up on the home side. That's going to start proceeding into finishing there and then going over to the visitor side. There's walls being poured in the bowl area, and I'll kind of put that in a picture here in a second. They poured the foundation, the slab on grade on the visitor side, as well as some of those walls, as you see, some of those exit staircases that will be put in place as we go. And then they've also started the footings at the development center. So that's kind of the first process to get that part of the project going. So a lot of moving parts. It's changed dramatically, and it's fun now as we get up here each month in front of you. The pictures, I think, will really justify where we're going with it, but it's taking shape. When you look at the detention system, the south R tank, the one that's in the junior lot in front of the field house, it's complete. It was concrete. They put the concrete on it earlier last week, and it's being used already. So that's back in action. We're in good shape as we look at that. We're going to start looking at striping that for band and so forth, but it is usable. The north R tank is about 40% complete. That sets northeast of the site, right in front of the Bulldog Center. The same design, the same setup, just another portion of that underground detention system that we've spent time talking to you about. So that's wrapping up, and obviously that will be not concrete. Some of it will be, but some of it will also be grass. Just to give you some perspective of what it's going to look like, right? Remember, it's a concourse developed or set up stadium. So there's that concourse. I kind of put some colors there for you. Then you'll have your lower bowl. That's about 5 seating arrangements there, 5 layers of seats. And then you go up top. I think there's 7 or 8 there. Off the top of my head, I think it's 8 actually. But there's an upper level. So that's going to carry throughout the entire bowl of the stadium all the way over to the visitor side. This gives you a little perspective of what the end product is going to look like. So again, you can kind of see how it's starting to develop. With ours at the end, at the front down there on the base wall, we'll have brick veneer there that will go in place. That'll be really nice. It'll match obviously the other atmospheric components that we got at the Bulldog Center and so forth. Visitor side, again, there's the foundation piece, the slab on grade has been poured. We are literally pouring concrete every day that we can. So there's machines out there, and that's happening as fast as possible, and trying to get things done while items are dry. This is just a look at the bowl. You can see the footings there have been poured. You can see the wall going up, and that'll slowly start to come together as we go. Remember, the field house is going to stay as long as possible. We're going to keep that there. We're going to use that to the extent of the project until we can't anymore, and then that will go down, and we'll proceed with that being a parking lot at the very end. Just a perspective, we've got the camera on top of the Bulldog Center. Every month they come out and they give us new aerial photos, new videos, and they do this kind of picture here. So, and this is already outdated, but nonetheless, you can see how quickly these things change. That's a January overview, and that's February, and you can just see how much we're moving out there. So again, it's exciting to get in front of you each month now, because we're really going to start to see some of this change dramatically now that we've gone vertical and we've got those steel beams being put in place throughout the place. Any questions on the stadium or development center? Bless you. Bless you. Quick update, we have completed work at Lomax Junior High track. That got extended a little bit with weather, and we had some issues with some students doing some things out there, but nonetheless, we've got through it. It is finished. They actually practiced on it today, so we're excited to get that done. Symmetry got out of there. Obviously, we added a new track surface. We also added the pole vault, the D-ring there, so you can kind of see the overview picture, and long jump and triple jump surfaces and pits got updated. So it's got all the things we need. It's a fully functioning track. Obviously, our high school is going to use this in the time being, as well as our junior high, but our high school, while our stadium is under construction until we get our new track up and running there. Any questions on Lomax Junior High?
Did you watch that guy paint those lines?
I did not.
He does it by hand.
Does he now?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Need to get him going. Any questions pertaining to bond safety?
They did mine.
Dr. Bowman, I got a quick question.
Yes, sir.
On fencing,
Yes, sir.
you might have already told us this, but I know at one point we're going to do some schools that's fencing, some have the film. Did we go to all fencing?
We did. We went back, the last board meeting you guys approved for the remaining campuses.
Perfect, thank you.
So everybody will be getting that done. Yes, sir. Right now, Heritage is being installed. They moved from there to College Park, from there to Bayshore, kind of going that route.
All right, thank you, Dr. Thank you. We'll now go to item C, special education update. Ms. Trader.
Bless you.
Good evening, President Hanks, Board of Trustees, Dr. Jackson. Thank you for allowing me some time to spotlight all the hard work we've been doing in special programs. I just want to take a few minutes to show you what we've been working on. So, as you know, in special education, we are tasked with finding and identifying every student with a disability from ages 3 to 21 who lives within LaPorte ISD. And so that's what we've been working on. As you can see, we've had quite a bit of growth over the last, it says 5 years, I realize I put 6 years, sometimes I go a little overboard with the data. So as of today, actually, when I checked before I left my office, we're actually sitting at 1,182 students in LaPorte ISD who have special education needs. And so we're at 16.59%, which is about average for the area. It's still much higher, though, than it was in previous years. So the disability categories that we serve in LaPorte ISD are speech, specific learning disability, intellectual disability, emotional disturbance, auditory impairment, autism, deaf-blind, NCEC or non-categorical early childhood, orthopedic impairments, other health impairments, which encompasses ADHD, traumatic brain injuries, and visual impairments. And so that's the number we have currently in each of those categories. Some of our students fit into multiple categories, so while I know we only have 1,182 students more disabilities here, but several of them have more than one disability. And so we're charged with meeting all of their needs individually, and that's what special education is. And so we have several programs of support, and we don't have every program on every campus, so I thought I'd share with you where our programs are and who we service in those programs. So we do have inclusion, which is the bulk of our special education students, and we have that on every campus. Those are special education students sitting in general education classrooms. We have resource on every campus except for DeWalt High School because it is a school of choice and we don't provide resource there, but we do have it on every other campus. And that is a pull-out session with a special education teacher for a student with a disability. We have the Focus program, which when you were in school was probably called Life Skills. It's similar program, and that's for students with intellectual disabilities, autism, significant cognitive impairments. And we have those programs at Bayshore, College Park, Heritage, Jenny Reed, Lomax, Baker, LaPorte Junior High, Lomax Junior High, and LaPorte High School. Then we have our SAIL program, and that is our communication program. It primarily serves students with autism, but it also serves students who have difficulty with social skills and communication. So those programs are at LaPorte Elementary, Rizzuto, Baker, LaPorte Junior High, and in LaPorte High School. And then we have our behavior support program, and that primarily serves students with emotional disabilities and ADHD, and we have that at Jenny Reed, Rizzuto, Baker, Lomax Junior, and LaPorte High School. And then finally, my favorite program, we have Bulldog Bridge, and that is our adults with significant disabilities that go to school from ages 18 to 22, and they're housed at SPC, my building right down the road, and that's where we work with them on adult life. What does that look like? We have an apartment set up so they can practice their life skills day to day, and we take them into the community for work opportunities. So we're very happy to have them with us. And then we also have early childhood special education, and those are our little bitties, as we like to call them, are ages 3 to 5, and we have them at College Park and LaPorte Elementary. So it truly does take a village to educate all these sweet babies, and we do a great job. So with that, we have to have specially designed instruction because all of the students that I mentioned on the last slide in every program, they're all part of our accountability system, which is good news for LaPorte because the way that the state does accountability is that every time you grow, not just pass or fail, we get some points for that. And so our students in LaPorte help us because we take them on their IEPs from one point to another, and we get growth measures for those students. So we're glad to have them, but it's important that you know that they are a part of our accountability system. So to do that, we have specially designed instruction provided by certified special education teachers, and we also have specially designed instruction provided by the staff that we house at the SPC Center, and that's speech language pathologists, school psychologist, occupational therapist, physical therapist, and orientation and mobility specialists. And then of course, a host of other people that help support them with all of the compliance pieces that we have. But that's really an overview for you this evening. Do you have any questions?
I just have one on the designation of campuses, how you spread out and allocate the resources. Is that dictated by need, or do we set those campuses up and then have the students move into that school for that service?
So we try to have the program spaced out throughout the town. So if I have a behavior program on one side of town, I have it on the other, and it's also due to resources because we don't have enough students to justify having them at every campus, and so we spread them out and try to make it as convenient for families as we can.
Okay.
Mr. What do you attribute the increase in, I guess, the SPED population? Is it new students moving in, or is it just current students getting, like, I guess, diagnosed with a designation?
So, great question. This year we've had some unique circumstances with the legislature. I know we've had some in budget. We've also had them in special ed. So this year they changed the rules on dyslexia in the state of Texas to kind of really to catch us up with every other state. But now if you are a student with dyslexia, you have to be tested for special education. So dyslexia is now, it was considered general ed. It was under 504. It is now special education. So if a parent, their student is receiving dyslexia and they want them to continue to receive dyslexia, we have to test them and they have to be serviced under special education. So just that alone added about 75 students to our numbers. And then every time a student is sent to DAP or returns from DAP, we're required to give parents notification on how they can receive a special education evaluation.
Gotcha. Thank you. Also, as the number goes up, is there any kind of I think most of the, no, not all, but most of them are in general kind of population, right? And so is there a percentage-wise, if there's X amount of percent in each class that they need additional aids or help, or is that just kind of at the will and discretion of the district?
It depends on the needs of the kiddos. So if you had, say, you're thinking of, let's just use easy numbers. So if you have 20 students in a class and 5 of them have speech impairments, that probably wouldn't rise to the level of needing a second adult, but say 5 of them had some pretty significant emotional disorders. We would definitely consider adding staff there, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for this. I just would like to call the attention to the board, and just for the sake of the conversation, 1,180 students, that's Anahuac ISD, a 3A school district. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That is a significant, you said that's comparable to our neighbors now?
It is, yes, sir.
And it is, the percent is, but our neighbors are not 7,000 students.
Right.
And so that's a significant number is what I'm trying to say. We're happy to serve and support and educate, and we do that gladly and willfully, and we have the best teachers in the land doing it. But it is certainly a challenge as these numbers continue to increase.
What percentage is the state average?
I want to say around 15. I know that this area, I went to a recent meeting with the directors in the area, everybody's sitting between 16 and 17%, so.
And about 10, 15 years ago, that was probably 7 or 8%.
It was about 8%.
About 8%.
Those of us who've been in education a long time remember the Houston Chronicle article that really started it all and said we had to stop capping, which is right.
So I just want clarification real quick. As a mother who had a child with 504 dyslexia, dysgraphia, different 504 accommodations, okay? You're saying that if he were in school currently, he would have to test for special ed in order to get accommodations.
Not accommodations, but direct dyslexia instruction.
Direct
so by the
dyslexia
time they're in high
instruction,
school, they typically don't have that direct instruction, but in elementary, if they want to get it now, it has to be special education, yes ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I just think it's important for us to see this information, and we'll probably have to come back in the spring, in later spring, to have some more conversations as we get closer to accountability, because are all or some of these students counted towards accountability?
Every one of them.
Right. Regardless of their disability.
Regardless of disability. That is correct.
I have one more question. So I know it's kind of a loaded question, and I'm not putting anybody on the spot.
Sure.
But we hear a lot. We have some one parent in particular comes up and gives kind of a heartfelt testimony a couple times a year about we need to pay more and it's hard. I mean, are you guys experienced? God bless you guys for what you're doing. But are you having any difficulty retaining people based on specifically pay? Like, are we doing okay in your opinion on?
I have to say that we have an excellent retention rate here, far better than I've seen in my previous districts. We just don't have a high amount of turnover with paraprofessionals or teachers.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Trader.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, we'll move on to item 8, consent agenda. That's my next cue. All right. Consent agenda. A, determine and approve any consent agenda items. B, approve board meeting minutes. C, receive principal's report. 1, Early Childhood Center. 2, Bayshore Elementary. 3, College Park Elementary. 4, Heritage Elementary. 5, Gina Reed Elementary. 6, LaPorte Elementary. 7, Leo A. Rizzuto Elementary. 8, Lomax Elementary. 9, James H. Baker 6th grade campus. 10, LaPorte Junior High. 11, Lomax Junior High. 12, LaPorte High School. 13, Viala DeWalt High School. D, receive financial reports for December 2023. E, receive human resources report. F, receive quarterly investment report for December 2023. G, approve annual financial audit engagement for the year ended June 30, 2024. H, approve budget amendment. I, approve interlocal agreement for joint elections between City of Shore Acres and LaPorte ISD. J, approve proposal of purchase of property insurance including boiler and machinery and crime coverage.
Pull J for me, please.
Pull J, please. K, approve purchase of playground equipment for Rizzuto Elementary.
And Bound to have a quick question. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir. Mr. Shelby, will you read back the consent agenda?
Yes. A, B, C, 1 through 13, D, E, F, G, H, and I.
Okay. Seek a motion?
So moved.
Seconded by Ms. Crutcher. Call for a vote. The motion passed unanimously. All right, we'll go to the first item. Jeff? Jay?
So I apologize, this was a favor to trustee Paris, who is, as you guys know, an insurance business. He had a couple, I think, just real basic questions regarding the insurance.
Sure.
So I think he's got 3 quick questions. His first one was, he asked me to ask if we lowered our coverage to utilize the same premium we had last year, or do we just get a really good renewal on the insurance?
Okay, well, first I want to introduce Joe Blasi, who's with McGriff. I'm going to read a little statement about him. So Joe Blasi has served Texas school districts and local governments since 1994. In 1996, his firm McGriff partnered with Region 4 Education Center Purchasing Cooperative to create the risk management and insurance support services for member districts. Over the past 25 years, Joe and his national public entity team has served over 1,000 school systems and other educational institutes. Joe is a licensed risk manager and holds the Associate in Risk Management and Chartered Property and Casualty Underwriter designations. And Joe will review the property insurance plan that is scheduled to renew on March 6, 2024.
I think we got those answer that question for you, Jeff.
You bet. Dr. Jackson, board members, thank you for having me. The answer to the question is no. The coverage remains the same. The policy limit that was approved by the board last year remains the same.
Perfect. And his second question, I don't know what this is. I apologize for my ignorance. Says, asked if we updated our TIV per building to match current replacement cost, or if we had them at a lower value due to premiums, and is this going to penalize us with co-insurance if we have a claim?
So the great news is the underwriters have agreed to waive that co-insurance penalty, which is an insurance term, but there was a 3% construction cost inflation adjustment to the values, which will allow the district's insured values to remain somewhat consistent with current construction trends.
Okay, and then I guess his last question was, I guess, clarity on the 5% deductible per location. Is that a standard across the board?
It is for districts in this area and building owners, as a matter of fact. You know, one bit of good news is that the insurance market for those who own homes or certainly commercial buildings is beginning to stabilize, and we're starting to see a normal insurance cycle, and so I think things will continue to improve, which will mean we can eventually lower that deductible without much of an additional premium, if any.
My statement is not really more a question. I just appreciate you guys. I know we had a great relationship with Lockton, but I appreciate the staff going out and bidding this. It seems like it's going to work out much more in our favor, so I appreciate you guys doing that.
Thank you. Any other questions, board? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So K is, what do you want to vote on that one first?
Yeah, that was just.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry.
What? Wait, do we want to vote on J first, then go
Yeah,
to
we
K?
do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I seek a motion.
I move to approve.
Okay. Second. Call for a vote. It does pass unanimously. Thank you. And Kay, Mr. Martin?
So yeah, I'm for the playground. I just had a quick question in terms of, and Dr. Romney, I apologize, he's probably already told me this before, but what campuses will be getting playgrounds?
All of them. We're
all of
to
them.
move. Yes,
Okay, that's
we're
just
just
what
doing
I'm
it
doing.
here. We brought one from Rizzuto early and you approved it. The reason why there's a second one is because we've got to actually take away one that we were not anticipating.
That's all I need.
So that's why this is on its own
Perfect.
piece.
Share with the board why we had to take that away. I mean, it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, we certify our playgrounds, right? And they've got to meet standards, and that one just simply does not. I mean, there's exposed metal.
We didn't just arbitrarily say we don't want it anymore.
Correct.
It didn't meet our standards anymore.
But that was something that we added in that wasn't originally a part of the conversation, so it was just.
I just feel like, I think that I was just making sure, because that's them all. I thought we'd replace all of them in 14, so I'm glad you said that we're going to do them all again, so just being fair, that's all. So I have no problem, I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I seek a second. Second by Mr. Shuppy. Call for a vote.
Did you vote?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, we will now move on to item 9, action and/or discussion items. Tonight we have one item to take action on, and that is to adopt resolution number 02 my apologies. Discussion's now open. Any questions, comments? Okay.
Questions for her? Please. Any questions you'll have?
How are you doing this evening, board members?
Doing well.
So I wanted to go over the resolution called the Chaplain Bill. So it's something that we definitely met with the counselors and discussed. We had mixed reviews on the feedback that we got from the counselors regarding the chaplains actually performing or counseling students on the campuses. So there were some considerations, some of their considerations, those are the parts that I'd like to share, just what they said. The chaplains were not certified counselors, so we have a master's degree in school counseling and we have a degree in early childhood education. So our degree is to counsel students, children, which is very different than perhaps a counseling chaplain's background on counseling. So there were some different perspectives there. We also were looking to make sure that not only the training that we receive, so we receive training on child abuse reporting, crisis intervention, all the threat assessments, the things that are very vital and important to our campuses. And so those were some concerns and considerations that they had as well. How would we train a person, or how to train the person that would come in not knowing our procedures and policies when we're talking about counseling students. So those were the considerations that we received from our counselors. Dr. Brown?
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, we also met with our principals and talked to them to get their feedback, and overall the majority of them did not want to have the, we have programs currently right now that we have volunteers and we have our ministries come into our schools. But in terms of having chaplains have one-on-one time with students, it was a concern for our principals also.
Okay. Board, any questions? No? Thank you, ladies.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have the resolution? You've got it, David? Okay.
I make a motion to adopt. Oh, go
Can I
ahead.
just add one
Sure.
thing, because this came up before. So the resolution is kind of written a little bit backwards, but that's the way the law required it to be written. You're required by 763 to adopt a resolution. The resolution says that basically you don't need this program. So voting for the resolution is voting that you are not going to do this program. But the resolution also makes clear that you can still, if you have a chaplain that wants to volunteer in any program you have, they can do that, as they've always done, and you have people doing that right now. And if a chaplain or wants to apply for a position that they're otherwise, and then we added this language, that they're otherwise qualified for, you can hire them, they can do that. So you're already really able to do most of the things that this bill sort of anticipated, and there really was never a need to adopt, to actually change your program.
Any questions about your, no?
And,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and I think Betancourt, from what I've listened to him, he mentioned the reason behind it is like maybe there's a shortage of counselors or something to fill the need, but we don't have that issue here. So, Mr. President, I'd like to move to adopt the resolution with the following addendum to the resolution and the therefore clause. It says this resolution is not intended to prevent a chaplain from volunteering in his or her personal capacity for some other volunteer opportunity provided by the district, with the additional language, comma, or from being employed in a position for which they are otherwise qualified. So,
thank you.
Making sure.
Motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Martin. I'll call for a vote. And it is adopted in it. Okay, thank you. Thank you, board. All right, we'll now move on to item 9. No, we just did that. We'll go to 10, action on closed session items. We do not have any closed session items, so we'll carry on to item 11, our closing comments of the Board of Trustees and Superintendent, attendance at recent district and community events, announcement of upcoming district and community events, and C, outstanding performance by district staff and students. Floor is yours, Board. Anybody?
I'm gonna start at that end this time. Don't want to start this one.
Let's start in the middle. How about starting the end?
Okay,
How about in the
okay,
middle?
I'll start. No, since the last time we met, I did get to go see the musical, and it was awesome as usual. And don't need to say anything about it because it always is good. Also, I got to do a boardwalk yesterday. I want to thank Dr. Brown, Dr. Jackson, and all the teachers that allowed me to come into their rooms. Lots of good things happening. The CTE programs look good. Really enjoyed my day off of being in education, coming and seeing another education school. So, and it helped a little bit with my nap time when I got back home for my mid-afternoon nap. So just to let you know that it was a wonderful time. I enjoyed it.
Awesome, we had a good time.
Okay, I got several. I'll be quick though. I first of all just want to thank Dr. Jackson and the district. As was mentioned, within minutes of finding out about Chief Dietrich, he extended that olive branch to allow our facility. So that was a big deal, and it was a truly heartbreaking event, but it was phenomenal the way you guys pulled that off. So thank you for that, first and foremost. Also, I want to reiterate Russell's comments. The musical is amazing. You always do a fantastic job. That is the highlight of our year with our family. So kudos to all the many people and families that put that on. Also, I just wanted to mention, we talked about student life here in Porte ISD. It started at DeWalt and then went to high school. And thank you, Dr. Jackson, for allowing us to bring that, and the principals that gave it a shot to get it started. And we found out this week we're going to be in all the junior highs coming next fall. So that is an opportunity to be a mentor and just a friend to a lot of kids in the Porte ISD. So we appreciate that. Also wanted to, I got in trouble because I didn't remember Counselors Week last week. So Jancy, if you could please give me an email next year, then that's going to happen. But I want to say on record, we certainly appreciate every single one of our counselors, the job you guys are doing, and because I'm married to one, I know that it's not all roses. You hear some heartbreaking stories and some things that you guys are privy to and hear about, and God bless y'all for the job you're doing for that, because it is it's God's work. Also want to thank our SROs and the job that you guys are doing, Officer Larkey. God bless you for that too, because it's not an easy job. Miss Charlotte Penny is in the room. I want to invite everybody. We're excited about I'm losing track of my days. Charlotte, is this the 4th annual? Is this the 4th? Wow. Hoops Classic. So a lot of people, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears going to that, and it's an amazing event at the Bulldog Center towards the end of the month. So if you haven't got a ticket to that, we'd love to have you join us. Last and certainly not least, I want to thank Trustee Thompson, who got us these amazing sweatshirts. It's probably the first time I've ever seen Russell not wear a Deer Park shirt. So, Deanne, thank you so much for these sweatshirts.
They are sharp.
Ditto to everything Jeff said. I also want to mention thank to the school district, Dr. Jackson, for reaching out and having a place for Diedrich's service. I mean, it's good to see the city and the school district having a positive relationship and a close relationship. I know in the history past that's not always been the case, and so it's good to know and see, the partnership between the school district and the city and working on behalf of the community. And I just wish everyone the best. I know we're getting I don't know what you call it, the doldrums of February, or that malaise between that from the Christmas holidays to spring break. But I know you're working hard each and every day for our students, and hope for y'all get some rest at some point, because I know y'all, each and every one of you are working hard. So thank you, and God bless, and good night.
Thank you, Mr. Yonder.
Okay, so I want to also say the musical was fantastic. That program is near and dear to my heart, my family's heart, but I truly believe that the fine arts in this district, visual and performing arts in our district, has a future, and to keep those programs going, we need everybody's support, and just make sure that your students know that they have opportunities to participate in things, because we have some really amazing students performing and creating art and music and everything else. So let's keep those performing arts, active. Congratulations to our academic decathlon. I had several friends in school who were smart enough to be in the academic decathlons, but it was not myself, and I don't believe Jeff.
Wow,
so
you gonna call me out?
I'm just saying, I didn't know, we graduated together, but, yeah, okay, sure. No, those students worked tirelessly to learn and to be able to compete on that level, so it astounds me to hear some of the things that they can do, so that's great. Again, Hoops Classic is coming up. I believe Dr. J is gonna be there, but not the one you would imagine, this one here. And then, just enjoy your mini breaks, students and staff alike. You enjoy it. Y'all deserve it for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, I could sit here for days and talk about all those things, but I do want to just emphasize the example after example after example of the kindness and goodness that lives and resides within our community. And that's no small thing that the school district stepped up into that space when it was needed, and I know the city does the same. It just speaks volumes about the character of our community, and we are uniquely different, and it's something to be celebrated. And there's a quote we're talking about at work right now, is like, turn down the noise and turn up the truth. And it's you will find whatever you are looking for. And I think that we spend too much time dwelling on things that are beyond our control and are irrelevant, and we need to celebrate more of the significance. And I think this district is on to something. You can feel it, you can sense it, you can see it, you can hear it, and it's something to be celebrated for sure. So that is a testament to everybody's hard work, and we certainly appreciate that. So yes, go Hoops, no pulled muscles, no broken backs. The Anzadula tournament will be taking place, actually no FMLA. The Anzadula baseball tournament will be on that same weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The girls softball team, rumors are they are going to be a force this year, and they're actually playing in Deer Park tonight. So kudos to all our athletes, musical. In fact, I do want to point out that our very own LaPorte alum, Mr. Texas Country Reporter, did a feature on our musical, and it will be featured on the TV show in October, I believe. Did he say, do you hear something different?
No, that's September, end of
So,
September.
yeah, the crew was really, really taken back, and I had a unique perspective of the musical, working backstage and seeing all those kids. And to see the inclusion, the diversity, and the multitude of backgrounds that surround each other and help each other. These are kids that you would never put together, and working together for a common good, it's truly something special, and I think that's the it with our musical. But with that said,